Most cat owners think mixing wet and dry food is a mistake. They're wrong, and I'll show you why. But here's the catch. There's a right way and a wrong way to do it. Get it wrong, and you're setting your cat up for obesity, digestive issues, and even kidney problems. Get it right, and you unlock the perfect balance of nutrition, hydration, and dental health. Today, I'll show you the exact ratio that works, the timing that matters, and the one mistake 8 out of 10 cat owners make without even knowing it. I'm Dr. Lena, and I've spent over 20 years studying feline nutrition. What I discovered about mixing wet and dry food changed everything I thought I knew. Let's start with what most people get wrong. They fill the bowl with dry food in the morning, then add wet food on top in the evening. Seems logical, right? You're giving variety, you're using what you already have at home. But here's what really happens inside your cat's digestive system. Dry food takes 8 to 10 hours to fully digest. The kibble needs to absorb moisture from the stomach. It swells, it breaks down slowly. Wet food? Only 4 to 6 hours. It's already 75% water. The stomach processes it quickly. When you mix them in the same meal, the wet food sits in the stomach waiting for the dry food to break down. This creates fermentation. Gas builds up. Your cat feels bloated. Your cat might vomit or have loose stools. And you blame the food quality when it's actually the timing. Let me tell you about a study that shocked me. A study from the University of Edinburgh tracked 200 cats over 12 months. Half got mixed meals, where wet and dry were combined in the same bowl. The other half got separated meals, where wet and dry were given at different times. The mixed meal group had 40% more digestive issues: vomiting, diarrhea, loss of appetite, bloating. The separated meal group? Almost none. They had normal digestion, consistent stools, better energy levels. So here's the first rule. Never mix wet and dry in the same bowl at the same time. But now you're thinking, okay, so how do I combine them? This is where the 80-20 rule comes in. 80% of your cat's daily calories should come from wet food, 20% from dry food. Why this exact ratio? Because it mirrors what a wild cat would eat in nature. A mouse is 70% moisture. A bird is 65% moisture. Even insects contain 60% water. Dry food is only 10% moisture. It's completely unnatural for a cat's biology. Wet food is 75 to 80% moisture, much closer to natural prey. The 80-20 split gives your cat the hydration they desperately need, while still getting the benefits of dry food. Mental stimulation from crunching, some dental scraping on the molars, convenience for you as the owner. But here's the part nobody talks about. It's not just what you feed, it's when you feed it, and how much you feed it each meal. Here's the schedule that works best, according to veterinary nutritionists I've interviewed. Morning, 7 a.m. Give wet food only. This should be about 60% of their total daily portion. Why the biggest meal in the morning? Because cats are crepuscular hunters. Their metabolism is most active at dawn. Afternoon, 2 p.m. Give dry food only. This should be about 20% of their daily portion. A small amount, just enough to keep them mentally engaged. This mimics a small hunting success in the wild. Evening, 7 p.m. Give wet food again, the remaining 20%. This is a light meal before their most active hunting hours at night. This spread keeps their metabolism active throughout the day. It prevents blood sugar spikes that lead to diabetes, and it mimics the natural hunting rhythm of a wild cat who catches 3 to 5 small prey per day. 3 small meals, not 2 big ones. This is the key. Now, let me tell you about the biggest mistake I see every single day: free feeding dry food. You know what I mean. You leave a bowl of kibble out all day, your cat grazes whenever they want, you refill it when it's empty. It seems harmless, even convenient. You don't have to worry about feeding schedules. Your cat can self-regulate. But a study from Cornell University showed something shocking. Cats who free feed dry food consume 30% more calories than cats on scheduled meals. not because they're hungrier, but because the brain loses track of satiety signals when food is always available. Think about it. In the wild, a cat hunts, catches prey, eats, then fasts for several hours until the next hunt. This cycle of feast and fasting keeps their metabolism sharp. It keeps their insulin sensitivity healthy. Free feeding destroys this natural rhythm. And here's the scary part. Dry food is incredibly calorie dense. Just 1 cup of average kibble can contain 300 to 400 calories. An average indoor cat only needs 200 to 250 calories per day. That's it. If your cat is free feeding, they should be eating double what they need without you even realizing it. That's why 60% of indoor cats are overweight or obese. Free feeding is the silent killer nobody talks about. So if you're mixing wet and dry, you must measure portions. No guessing, no, just a little extra because they're begging. Use a kitchen scale. Track the calories on the food packaging, adjust based on your cat's weight, age, and activity level. I know it sounds tedious, but it takes 30 seconds per day, and it could add years to your cat's life. Now, here's the twist that surprised even me when I first discovered it. Mixing wet and dry doesn't just work, it actually solves one of the biggest problems in cat nutrition: picky eaters who refuse to transition to healthier food. Cats are neophobic. That's a fancy way of saying they distrust anything new or unfamiliar. It's a survival instinct from their wild ancestors. If you've ever tried switching your cat from dry to wet cold turkey, you know the struggle. They sniff it, lick it once, walk away in disgust, refuse to eat for hours. You panic, you give them their old food back, the cycle continues. But when you introduce wet food gradually, mixed with a small amount of their familiar dry food, their brain accepts it much faster. A study from the Journal of Feline Medicine tracked 300 cats during food transitions. Cats transitioned 70% faster when wet food was introduced alongside dry food, compared to a cold turkey switch. Why? Because the familiar smell and texture of the dry food acts as a safety signal to the brain. It says, "This is okay, you know this. The new stuff must be safe too." Here's the exact 7-day transition plan that works. Day 1 to 2, give 90% dry food, 10% wet food. But here's the key, feed them in separate bowls, 2 hours apart. Don't mix them together. Day 3 to 4, shift to 70% dry, 30% wet. Same separation rule. Your cat's digestive system is starting to adapt. Day 5 to 6, now you're at 50% dry, 50% wet. You'll notice your cat drinking less water. That's normal. They're getting hydration from the wet food. Day 7 onwards, this is your permanent ratio, 20% dry, 80% wet. Your cat's digestion has fully adapted. Their coat might look shinier, their energy more stable. The key to this whole process? Patience and strict separation of mealtimes. Never rush it, never force it. Let your cat's biology do the work. Now, let me address a question I get all the time. What if my cat only wants dry food? They won't even look at wet food. This is usually a sign of palatability addiction. Dry food manufacturers spray the kibble with something called palatability enhancers. These are artificial flavor compounds and animal fats designed to trigger pleasure responses in the brain. It's like junk food for cats. Once they're hooked, normal food seems boring. If your cat is addicted to dry food, the 7-day method still works, but you might need to extend it to 10 or even 14 days. Add a tiny amount of the dry food crumbled on top of the wet food, just enough for the smell, not enough to pick out and eat separately. Over time, reduce the amount of dry crumbles. Eventually, they'll be eating pure wet food without realizing it. I've seen this work with hundreds of cats, even the most stubborn ones. Let me give you one more critical piece of advice. Not all wet food is created equal, and not all dry food is garbage. If you're going to do the 80-20 method, you need to choose high-quality versions of both. For wet food, look for these 3 things. First ingredient must be real meat, not byproducts. At least 10% protein by weight. and no artificial colors or flavors. For dry food, same rules apply. Real meat first, protein above 40%, grain-free if possible. Avoid grocery store brands that list corn, wheat, or soy as the first 3 ingredients. Those are fillers, not nutrition. I'll be releasing a full video next week comparing 15 popular wet food brands. I tested them for protein quality, digestibility, and ingredient transparency. The results will surprise you. Let's recap everything we've learned today. Mixing wet and dry can work, but only if you follow these rules. Never combine them in the same bowl at the same time. You'll cause digestive chaos. Use the 80-20 rule. 80% wet food, 20% dry food. This is the scientifically backed ratio. Feed on a schedule, not free feeding. 3 meals per day, 60% wet in the morning, 20% dry in the afternoon, 20% wet in the evening. Measure portions with a kitchen scale. Track calories. Adjust based on your cat's individual needs. Use the 7-day transition method for picky eaters. Separate bowls, gradual shifts, patience. Choose high-quality wet and dry food. Ingredients matter more than brand names. Now I want to hear from you. Are you currently mixing wet and dry? What ratio are you using? And have you noticed any changes in your cat's health or behavior? Drop a comment below. I read every single one, and I'll respond to as many as I can. And if you want to know exactly which wet food brands are worth buying and which ones are a complete waste of money, make sure you're subscribed. That video drops next week. Until then, keep your cat healthy, keep learning, keep questioning what you've been told. Your cat deserves the best, and now you know how to give it to them.